Taco Tuesday! I said that more excited than I actually am. I think phones and texting have done that. Things hit different when you gotta narrate your emotions. It's not a bad thing all the time. I mean, we all do it. I just wonder what's the truth behind that LOL sometimes. Are we saying what we mean, or are we buffering what we said and softening our stance to represent ourselves better? There's no edit button on the audible things that we say. We can go back and look over a message that we sent. Who knows how many times something was edited before it actually got to you? How much different would our conversations be if we only had the option to talk? It's probably a gift and a curse. Being able to filter yourself is a good thing. I'm sure there's a lot of peace that's been able to have been kept because I was only able to see the filtered version of what somebody wanted to say to me. I'm definitely not against it. Nowadays, you can't be. And for a person who analyzes everything that someone says, like me, it's probably better for the people that I interact with to be able to text me. I'm a believer that most of the time, the response that you get from someone is based on your approach. Again, there are many ways, but then there is a way. So I don't necessarily like the idea that everything that someone says to me is filtered, but contrary to popular belief, words hurt, and you can't unhear what somebody says to you. There's this meme that if you're texting someone and you see those 3 dots for like 3 minutes, but only wind up with a message that says, okay, then you know that the Lord has just moved on your behalf. I've been on both sides of that. So for all the pros and cons, I think that it's safe to say that this is another example of being able to have balance. I swear I never know where I'm getting ready to go when I start to do these. So it can be fun seeing where I end up. Like, all right, AJ, where is this going? Good times, man. Good times. Back when there were like 2 games for Nintendo was a good time. I remember playing Pong on Atari in my parents' room until my dad got a Nintendo. I think it was like for Christmas or like his birthday. So I can't remember which one. That one cartridge that had Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet was everything. That's all we had at the time. It was that and The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda was one-player game, so my dad was usually the one to play it. It wasn't really the type you could play taking turns. In my mind, it's the first RPG. And my brothers and I were pretty content watching my dad play. It was awesome. We could literally sit for hours while he was playing that game. Everybody was like trying to figure out what to do, so it felt collaborative. Zelda was pretty detailed for the time. I think we're talking like 1987. And it was like a puzzle that we were all putting together. Those are some of the best memories I have from a little kid. Like our collaborative effort to defeat Ganon at level 9. I can still beat that game now, but I can do it in like 4 hours. Later on, when I was in high school, the Nintendo 64 came out, which we had, and the Ocarina of Time came out, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And that's my favorite version of the Legend of Zelda, even though I'm wearing a t-shirt from A Link to the Past. I'd gotten pretty sickly in high school at one point because of my asthma. Like, I missed a lot of school, and it sucked because I had to spend like the whole time taking some of those steroids and not really doing anything active. Like, I would have asthma attacks like walking upstairs or just walking normal at times. It was bad. During some of that time though, I was able to play Ocarina of Time and figured out a lot of it. Anybody who played that game during that time knows that was one of the best and most detailed games ever. It had to be 98 or so, maybe 99. And that made not being able to participate in some things not so bad. It made you think so much between the main mission and the side missions that there wasn't really any time to get bored. So it was harder to focus on whatever bad was happening. And even though I really don't get a chance to play games like I used to, I still own the game, except now I have it for GameCube. Ancient. Like, they made a disc with all the Legend of Zelda games up to like the Wind Waker, and I got that. Of course, I've had to buy it 3 times. One I lost in a fire, the other one got lost by my brother, and the one that I have now never leaves the inside of my GameCube. That's the only game that I have left for that system, but it's also all I need. I just want to turn it on and bam, Legend of Zelda. Also, my kids are into it now because of newer Zelda games on newer systems. And they're like me in that when they like something, they want to know the history of it as well. I do that with everything. Also, random fact, I own a Link costume, complete with the wig, the Hylian shield, and the Master Sword. Well, I have stuff to do, and as always, this chair is killing my butt. But I hope you guys are having a smooth week so far, and I've got a lot to do today, so I'm trying to get everything done before I begin to feel overwhelmed. Right now, I feel good.